There are numerous military conflicts, border disputes, and all-out wars happening right now. With all of these international conflicts comes the question of escalation. How far will they go? Could any one of these conflicts escalate enough to cause a nuclear war? To answer that, we first have to look at which countries actually have nuclear weapons. As of now, there are 8 states known to have nuclear weapons, and they fall into 2 categories. Countries that have signed the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, or NPT, and countries that have not. The US, Russia, the UK, France, and China all have nuclear bombs and have all signed the NPT. These 5 countries have agreed to stop making nuclear weapons. They've also agreed to destroy their current stockpile over time. The treaty has the lofty goal of a nuclear weapon-free world, but it's not enforced by any one governing body, and the 5 states are basically under the honor system. So progress is slow, if moving at all. Then we have 3 nuclear-capable countries with bombs that are not part of the NPT: India, Pakistan, and Israel. These countries refused to sign the treaty before it was put into effect in 1970, primarily because it capped the number of countries who were allowed to have nuclear weapons at 5, the 5 countries that already had them. These 3 countries had not yet developed their nuclear programs. India tested their first nuclear weapon in 1974, and Pakistan tested theirs in 1998. Israel has not confirmed or denied having a nuclear arsenal, and there is no solid evidence of them testing a bomb. But according to the Federation of American Scientists, Israel may have as many as 80 nuclear weapons. There are also countries that might be pursuing nuclear weapons, like Iran, which has a nuclear program, but they claim it is for energy use only. After a series of embargoes and sanctions, Iran has agreed to scale their program down, but they also recently missed a deadline with the UN to provide specific information pertaining to their nuclear explosion experiments. So we can't really be sure what their current status is. North Korea, who withdrew from the NPT in 2003, has conducted 3 nuclear tests and is said to have enough plutonium for 6 to 10 warheads. But they have yet to develop a functional nuclear weapon, we think. North Korea doesn't share information, so no one really knows how close they are. So with all that said, how worried should we be about a nuclear war? Well, China and India have a no-first-use policy, meaning they won't use nuclear weapons unless they are attacked with one first. The UK has stated they won't use their nuclear weapons unless an enemy state uses a WMD against their troops. The US is vague about it, but claims to have nuclear weapons as a deterrent. Russia dropped their no-first-use policy in 1993 and now claims that they will only use their nuclear weapons if the Russian Federation is under threat. France and Pakistan have policies similar to Russia's, which just leaves Israel, who has not made an official policy yet because they haven't officially acknowledged that they even have nukes. But that doesn't change the narrative. No one wants to be the first nation to strike. Using a nuclear weapon in this day and age would bring large-scale retribution from the international community and possible nuclear counterstrikes. As it stands now, the main argument for nuclear weapons is to prevent attacks by nuclear weapons. Add in all the agencies actively monitoring and preventing the proliferation of nukes, the successful dismantling of Libya's nuclear program in 2004, South Africa intentionally dismantling their own program and weapons in 1991, and Israel eliminating Syria's nuclear reactor by bombing their facilities in 2007, and the threat seems even less real. If you still have questions about the world and their conflicts, please check out our World at War playlist to get an update on situations like the war in Syria or Iraq. If you found this video informative, please subscribe. It's a great way to support the show.